I have a huge problem with the way that the NBA draft lottery is structured, okay? And here's why. I know that the reason why they have percentages on who can get the top picks, and it's not like the NFL, for example, where just automatically the teams with the worst record get the highest draft picks, and it's in that order exactly. But in the NBA, they have percentages for what you can get. So let's say you're the worst team in the league, you will have a higher percentage to get the number one overall pick or a higher pick, but it's not guaranteed. And I'm fine with that in theory, but just not the entire way they do it. Because the way they have it now, it creates situations where these bottom barrel teams who are always trash, you got like the Hornets, the Jazz lately, the Pistons used to be that way, the Wizards. I mean, they're always trash. And because of this, they're not really able to improve because every time they get the second worst or the third worst record in the NBA, they somehow end up with a fucking eighth pick or something like that. And it's not every time, not every time. And then a lot of these times, the number one overall pick somehow goes to a team that has a very, very low chance of getting it, or they're pretty much a playoff team already. And now they got a generational prospect just this year. The entire reason for me making this video. The Mavericks, a borderline playoff team, get the number one overall pick with a 1% chance when theoretically they would have had around the 11th pick. And then you got a few years ago a Zion. Instead of it going to a shit team that really needed it, the Pelicans somehow got it when they had what a 2% chance of getting it. Like they were not nearly up there and having the highest odds for getting it. And it just seems like over and over and over again, these generational players somehow fall to these teams that are already good. And it just makes the disparity between the garbage teams and the good teams that much wider because all these generational prospects somehow end up on these already good teams, and the trash teams can't get any better, and they're just getting pushed down and farther and farther and farther. That's my main problem with it. It's not the fact that they do percentages. I actually think that's good because obviously, if they just had it like the NFL, then everybody would be just tanking whenever there was a good player. When Wembanyama was coming out or Cooper Flag, half the league would have been tanking, which is just not really fun to watch. But on the other hand, I definitely understand why they do it. I mean, it's not like they want to be ass. At least they're not being mediocre. They're trying to improve, but the way they improve is just by resetting and just completely going back down and trying to have good draft picks to get good players because they know if they continually have the 14th pick, they're just going to be mid forever. So when they do that, they know they're trying to get better. But on the other hand, I do get it, like I said. So I think a good middle ground would be letting like the top 8-ish picks to 10-ish picks having way more odds to getting this number one pick. And after pick 10-ish, don't let any of those teams even have a chance because somehow all these times they have a 1% chance and they end up getting it. Don't give them a chance. These teams have no right getting the number one pick. Leave it for the bottom barrel teams, but again, still make it so they kind of have to be competitive because they're not going to get it immediately if they're the worst team in the league. And that's why I don't understand after all these years of people seeing how this works and how it just keeps getting fucked over. I mean, it happened with the Spurs too. How they got Wembanyama. I mean, they're not a great team when they got him, but they're much better than every other team down there. If I don't know how they can keep seeing this happen year after year and not do anything about it. I mean, this shit needs to change. But anyways, that's just my opinion on it. That's it. See ya.